I'm Elsie.
And I'm Debbie.
And we're two sisters Southern cooking. Hey y'all, so we are back together today and we're making a coconut cake today.
So there is a department store that used to be in the Atlanta area that covered the southeastern United States that made a coconut cake, and it was called Rich's Department Store, which was later bought out by Macy's. But they had this magnificent coconut cake that nobody else could replicate, and so they finally printed up their recipe. So this is an inspired recipe from the Atlanta Constitution, their newspaper in Atlanta, from the restaurant after it closed, because they had a restaurant inside of the department store that sold cake, and this is their recipe. So it is 3 parts. There's going to be the cake part, then there's going to be the icing part, and then there's going to be the coconut mixing part with water and sugar. And you're not going to be mixing the coconut in with your icing. You're actually going to be sprinkling it on top of your layer. So we're doing 2 9-inch layer cakes. So Elsie's already baker sprayed our pans, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Now we have to start mixing the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients before we even start with the shortening and the sugar.
Okay, there's your dry.
Okay.
And we have dry powdered milk. Gonna put it into the water.
And that's their secret ingredient for this entire thing, was they had powdered milk in their icing and in their cake batter, which I find it's absolutely fascinating, because that has to be an old-timey recipe.
Yeah.
Because they don't use that anymore. So
It makes you wonder when that store went into business.
1857, I think it was.
Wow.
Yes. So, and then they lasted until 2005.
Alright, I have regular milk that I'm just going to mix in here with this so that all our liquids are together.
So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and start putting in 3/4 cups of our shortening. This is vegetable shortening. We use the Crisco sticks, so it's so much easier to measure it out. And we're going to cream that up with our sugar, and we'll be right back. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add in 1 egg at a time. We have a total of 3 eggs here, and we're also adding in vanilla. Now, this was not a part of the original recipe, but we love vanilla and everything, so we're going to add our twist on it. I'm going to go ahead and add in our last egg and our vanilla. And we're going to speed it up, and we'll be back. All right, so we are going to use half of our flour mixture here, and then we're going to mix that a little bit, and then we're going to add in our milk mixture until it's going to be half the milk, half of the flour, half of the milk, and then we should be done. So we're going to go ahead and put in half of our milk mixture and the last of our flour mixture. We're going to put in the last of our milk. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get these poured up into our baking pans, and we're going to put them in the oven at 350 for 20 to 30 minutes. And that depends upon how many pans you have in your oven, how your oven bakes, because some bake quicker than others. So we're giving you a varied time. And if you push down on the center of your cake and it springs back and it feels soft but it's still firm enough to hold as a cake, then you know you're done. Or you can just stick your tester in your cake and see if it's done. And if it comes out without crumbs on it, then you know you're done. By the way, this has a lot of baking powder in it, so and we will tap these down on the counter too to get rid of any air bubbles that may be in our batter. And let me just sweep this down, Elsie, for you. Sorry, I know with her lupus, her arms hurt. If she's holding something too long, I apologize. This looks delicious. See those little air bubbles that popped up? That means there's no more bubbles, air bubbles into our batter. So that means we did what we were supposed to do. So it's gonna bake and it's gonna be nice and just tender and delicious. So we're gonna go ahead and take it to the stove, put it in the oven, and we will see you back here when we do our next step. So we are at the part of the video where we need to make the icing, and there is 3 things in this recipe that are always like kind of one of those things that are against each other. We have powdered milk and water, and we have vegetable shortening sticks. They don't go well together, and they almost have the consistency of clabbered milk. The key to having a successful icing is to keep applying the powdered sugar. We ended up putting 2 cups in. Just apply 1 cup at a time until you get the consistency of thick, silky, smooth. It's easy to apply on your cake. It's beautiful. All right, y'all, I'm gonna start adding in my powdered sugar a little at a time. And I'm gonna slowly start adding in my milk. Hey y'all, so we're done here. I had to end up adding another 2 cups of powdered sugar to get it the consistency that I like. But we're good now. It looks fabulous. So the next step will be to do the coconut mixture, which we will do here in a second. We'll see you in a second. So we forgot to turn the camera on overhead. Sorry about that. We mixed our shortening and then our confectioner's sugar, and we added in our powdered milk mixture, and it was a curdled consistency. So we went ahead and add 2 more cups of confectioner's sugar, and it is smooth and beautiful. Look at this. Isn't this lovely? And it smells so good in here. Oh my gosh, guys. So what we're going to do is put this aside. We're going to go ahead and get our coconut flakes saturated with water and sugar, and then we are going to go ahead and get our cakes out of the oven because they smell so good, guys. And we're going to go ahead and let it cool down enough to ice. Then after we ice, we're going to sprinkle our moistened coconut flakes on top of it, as they did at Rich's department store. It's going to be so good, y'all, so stay tuned. All right, we're on to the last phase of this cake, and that is the coconut mixture. So I'm going to put my sugar in my bowl here. And my water on top of it. And then I'm going to pour my coconut in and then mix the coconut all up into this liquid. Now this is 2 pounds of coconut. Now Elsie keeps her coconut flakes in the freezer to preserve them. You don't have to. You don't have to use the frozen ones. These are not actually frozen, by the way. They're the ones that are for shelf life. But she puts it in there to keep them fresh. So adding the water and the sugar to that is just going to add flavor to the top of your coconut cake. So it'll give it a little bit of consistency so it sticks better too. So the next step, assembly. All right, we'll see you shortly. Hey y'all, I am going to ice our cake here, our coconut cake. So I have my cake stand out here and got the first layer here ready to go. So I'm going to take my frosting here and start spreading it across.
Okay, y'all, I am done here. This is ready to be transferred over to our cake stand. And we will see you in our next video.
Hey y'all, so we are going to cut the cake. So this is going to be an exciting, ooh, look at that. We set it up in the fridge for a couple hours before we actually, we're gonna cut it because we wanted it to set up and get firm. Ooh, yeah. Now, Elsie and I are going to take a bite of this. Okay.
It's good.
It really is good.
It's really good.
It has that old-fashioned flavor.
Yeah, it does.
You know what it reminds me of? Without the sour cream taste of the Pepperidge Farm coconut cake. Seriously, folks.
It's really good.
I would give this an A+.
Yep.
Plus. Very good. All right. Merry Christmas, guys. I'll see you in our next video.
Hi, I'm Elsie.
And I'm Debbie.
And we're Two Sisters Southern Cooking.
Please like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you.